Spirit of all being, we gather together for a time of connection, inner connection with abiding love, connection with each other in loving community, connection with all of life. We gather together to remind each other of and to celebrate the essential nature of life, grace, beauty, and love in abundance. Welcome, Eiko Momai. I'm going to talk about forgiveness, and then we're going to do a Connect and Glow forgiveness practice. Forgiveness is a large part of many spiritual and religious teachings. It's talked of throughout the Old and New Testaments. The Bhagavad Gita tells us valor, forgiveness, fortitude, purity, freedom from hatred and vanity. These are the qualities of one who possesses divine nature. Buddha taught, hatred never ceases by hatred, but by love alone is healed. This is the ancient and eternal law. In Bill Wilson's essay about Step 8 in 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, he writes about preparing to make amends. If we are now about to ask forgiveness for ourselves, why shouldn't we start out by forgiving them, one and all? In A Course in Miracles, we learn to see with the eyes of Christ. Christ's vision is the Holy Spirit's gift, God's alternative to the illusion of separation. Its kindly light shows all things from another point of view, reflecting the thought system that arises from knowledge and making return to God not only possible, but inevitable. What was regarded as an injustice done to one by someone else now becomes a call for help and for union. Sin, sickness, and attack are seen as misperceptions, calling for remedy through gentleness and love. Many spiritual teachings originate as strategies that help us survive, and forgiving is essential to our well-being, mental, physical, emotional, spiritual. It is crucial to healthy relationships. Relationships, personal and community-wide, are necessary for our survival. We are all in this together. As individuals, we find that harboring resentments is stressful on our minds, bodies, emotions, our spirit. If we have a problem with a person, a group of people, or an entity, we tend to think about the problem. Repeated thoughts create patterns in the brain, in the mind. Patterns in the mind become patterns in the body. When the thoughts are negative, there can be associated physical feelings in the body. We are feeling our hurt. Pain, chronic and otherwise, can be a result of unhealthy mental patterns. A body worker I know calls this issues in the tissues. If we are unable to release stored hurts and traumas, the physical pains can become set. Emotional patterns can become set also, resulting in what we call triggering. We can get set off by a seemingly small or innocuous event. Detrimental patterns in our minds, bodies, and emotions can block spiritual awareness and spiritual growth. It may feel too painful to open to connection when we are consumed with pain of any kind. And somewhat ironically, it is often pain that brings people to a spiritual path. On this path, we discover that we can change energy patterns. Usually changing patterns takes some sustained effort or work. We have a choice. We can exert some effort and over time create sustainable, healthy patterning. Or we can choose not to make the effort and continue to live our lives with unresolved issues affecting us, often subconsciously, subject to episodes of old pain being triggered, often at inconvenient or unexpected moments. If there is any part of my psyche that is attending to a grievance, it creates a taint in my entire field. It impedes openness to flow and expansion. It holds me back. Personally, I prefer to have a daily practice of centering and connecting with self-check-ins throughout the day, having a better chance of being comfortable in my own skin rather than reacting and or acting out when I feel hurt or threatened. And there's many ways, that I can feel threatened. That's just how life is. In addition to the long-term benefits of releasing old patterns that make life uncomfortable, there are daily accumulative benefits to our physical, emotional, psychological, and spiritual health. So here we are on the path, finding out that not much progress can be made without forgiveness. But just how do we forgive? Especially if the offender hasn't apologized or asked for our forgiveness, or they may still be doing the same old, seemingly unforgivable behavior. A good first step is to remember that we never know the whole story of how or why the offender may be hurting. Included in almost all bad behavior is the acting out from woundings. We have all got stuff. Stuff is one of the challenging parts of being human, and it's also one of the greatest gifts if we are open to learning and growing. This wisdom is from Gina Lake. Everyone is learning and everyone's teacher is suffering. There are other gentler teachers as well. Books, healers, spiritual teachers, lovers, friends, and other helpers. But the process of learning is such that people make mistakes and, in so doing, hurt or harm others. It can be no other way. You are given an ego that reflects an illusory reality. It doesn't reflect the truth. It is discovered by following the faulty program until it causes so much pain for yourself and others that you wake up out of the programming and find another way to live. Remember about pain bringing us to the spiritual path? Back to Gina. If you see the mistakes that others make along the way as unfair, then that is an opportunity to change your perception to one that doesn't make you suffer. Find a way to see things that doesn't cause you pain. I'm going to repeat that. Find a way to see things that doesn't cause you pain. Then you have found the truth. Other people are your teachers in this way. They challenge you to find a way to not suffer over their behavior. Life seems unfair to the ego because the ego wants life a certain way. But life isn't unfair. It is the way it is for a reason, and that reason is not unreasonable or unkind or unfair. It is the way it is so that you will awaken from the illusion and discover the glory of your divine nature. Thank you, Gina. So the next step is to admit that the offender, or the person, place, or thing that we perceive as an offender, is in reality a divine being, just like all of life. Their divinity may be buried under layers of fear that can express in a variety of unpleasant ways. But if we accept the premise that all of life is imbued with and is an expression of God, Creator, Spirit, then we can prayerfully look for that divinity in them. So, to the forgiveness practice. I first learned this from Chris Webker, a healer in Seattle who teaches channeling universal love for healing. It is her Pono, which is Hawaiian for make right, exercise, and this is the Connecting Glow version. So, getting comfortable in your chair, gently closing your eyes, take a nice deep breath, and on the exhale, allow a wave of relaxation to wash through you. Relaxing your scalp, your forehead, your face, cheeks, jaw, neck and throat, shoulders, upper chest, shoulder blades, upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrist, hands. Your mid-back and solar plexus are nice and relaxed. Belly, lower back, hips, thighs, knees, calves, ankles, feet. And with your awareness on the bottoms of your feet, imagine a dot on the bottom of each foot. Bring your awareness to your belly, about an inch below your belly button, and imagine a dot in the center of your belly. Bring your awareness to your chest. Imagine a dot in the center of your chest. Awareness on your hands. Imagine a dot in the palm of each hand. Bring your awareness to your forehead and going directly inward, imagine a dot in the center of your brain. Now draw a line from the dot in the center of your brain to the dot in the center of your chest. 2 lines radiate out from the dot in your chest through each arm to the dots in the palms of your hands. Draw a line from the dot in the center of your chest to the dot in the center of your belly. 2 lines radiate out from the dot in the center of your belly through each leg to the dots on the bottoms of your feet. And if you stand back in your mind's eye, you can see you've connected the dots and created a stick figure inside yourself like a child's drawing. And now imagine that you have a rheostat light switch. Gently bring up the power, and as you do so, your inner stick figure begins to glow with a warm, soothing light. And as you inhale, you're drawing in more energy that we're picturing as light. And the inner stick figure becomes brighter, stronger, warmer, and as you exhale, the light radiates in all directions. And bring your awareness to the crown of your head, relaxing, allowing your crown to open, allowing yourself to draw in universal love through the crown, to the brain, to the heart, to the hands, to the belly, to your feet. Imagine you have a smile in your heart. So to ease into the forgiving practice, we'll start with somebody we're on good terms with, somebody we're getting along with. It may be a personal friend or family member. or even a public figure that you are inspired by. Just somebody who, when you think about them or when you're with them, you feel good. And now, picture this person in front of you on a miniature stage. Imagine a dot on the bottom of each of their feet, a dot in their belly, a dot in their chest, a dot in the palm of each hand, and a dot in the center of their brain. Draw a line from the dot in the center of their brain to the dot in the center of their chest. 2 lines radiate out from the dot in the center of their chest through each arm to the dots in the palms of their hands. Draw a line from the dot in the center of their chest to the dot in the center of their belly, and 2 lines radiate out from the belly dot through each leg to the dots on the bottoms of their feet. And look at that, you created a stick figure inside of them. And you can see that they inhale, they fill up with light, the inner figure glowing, bright and strong, warm, sweet. And as they exhale, the light radiates in all directions. And they bring their awareness to the crown of their head, relaxing and opening, and they draw in universal love. It fills up their inner stick figure and is radiating throughout their energy field. You sense that they're feeling contentment, peace, joy, upliftment. There's a smile in their heart. And allow them to dissolve into the surrounding light as you bring your awareness back to your own inner stick figure. In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus says, "As you know, we were once told, you are to love your neighbor and you are to hate your enemy. But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for your persecutors. You'll then become children of your Creator in the heavens. God causes the sun to rise on both the bad and the good, and sheds rain on both the just and the unjust. Tell me, if you love those who love you, why should you be commended on that? Even the toll collectors do as much, don't they? And if you greet only your friends, what have you done that is exceptional? Even the pagans do as much." To sum up, you are to be unstinting in your generosity, in the way your Heavenly Father's generosity is unstinting. With your eyes gently closed, come back to your inner stick figure, inhaling light and exhaling, radiating, relaxing, opening. And now let a person you are having trouble with come to mind. Picture a miniature version of them on a stage in front of you. Picture a dot on the bottom of each of their feet, a dot in their belly, a dot in their chest, a dot in the palm of each hand, a dot in the center of their brain. Draw a line from the dot in the center of their brain to the dot in the center of their chest. 2 lines radiate out from the dot in the center of their chest through each arm to the dots in the palms of their hands. Draw a line from the dot in the chest to the dot in the center of their belly. And 2 lines radiate out from the dot in the belly through each leg to the dots on the bottoms of their feet. And you can see there's an inner stick figure in them, like a child's drawing. And imagine your magic rheostat light switch. You're going to bring up the power, and their inner stick figure begins to glow with a warm, soothing light. And they inhale, drawing in more light. It's energy that we're picturing as light. And it grows stronger and brighter and warmer, and it radiates in all directions as they exhale. You can sense that they're feeling peaceful, content, feeling open-hearted, open-minded, serene. And now they're relaxing their crown and opening up to universal love. They draw it in, and they're filled with that love light from the top of their head to the tips of their toes. You can sense a smile in their heart. And allow them to dissolve into the surrounding light as you bring your attention back to your own inner stick figure. Inhaling, fill it with light. Relaxing into spaciousness and peacefulness as you exhale. And while we're in this prayerful space, let us extend our awareness into the room, into the neighborhood, up and out and all around the world. Feeling a connection with all who are praying love and peace. And feeling the upliftment of all of life as we partake in this refinement and opening, sweetening of this energy, tuning into the love that lives in our hearts and that is always available in our hearts and in all of life. Blessing everything and everyone. May we see the divinity in every moment, in all we see, all we interact with. And coming back to the room, you can rub your thumb across your fingertips, wiggle your toes, a little stretch. You can repeat this treatment over the next several days. Begin the practice with centering, drawing universal love into your heart. Then imagine the person you are doing forgiving work with also filled with love. I will say that there are some people I have a hard time keeping in my inner vision for a long time. I simply turn them over to the love of the universe, saying, here, you deal with this. Trusting in all the help, unknown, known, seen, unseen, that is available. I will also tap across the top of my chest. That helps me release any unhappy energy. Joel S. Goldsmith writes, "If there is to be any loving, I am perfectly willing to be the avenue through which you, God, can love them through me." We have to learn to let God do the loving and be willing to be an instrument through which God's love flows to our friends and to our enemies. A gift of channeling universal love in forgiveness is that it is not up to me to generate love. What is up to me is to release blocks, open to love, extend love, see love. Again, Joel S. Goldsmith. God's work is done, finished, and complete, but it is unfolding to our conscious awareness in proportion as we learn truth and learn how to bring ourselves into harmony with that truth. The next step is not up to God, it is up to you and me. It may take some effort over time to loosen the tethers of hurt and resentment, but simply taking part in the process is healing. It heals everyone involved, and the healing ripples out to all of life. A Course in Miracles teaches us to see as God sees. God is not caught up in the stuff. God sees only the divinity, the beauty of creation. To forgive, we overlook offending traits and or behaviors to see to the essence of God in each one, which is not to say that you should condone unhealthy behavior or invite bad actors in for tea. You can take care of yourself and have boundaries while prayerfully blessing others with healing light and love, seeing through their stuff to their divine essence. Can every action I engage in be imbued with God's love? Well, it already is. But can I see divinity shining out from each and every person I am in contact with in every moment? Well, probably not everyone. So I will reword my question. Can I practice being pure love in every moment? Can I practice seeing divinity shining out from each and every person I am in contact with? Yes, I can practice this experience of peace and forgiveness, and I can practice it just about anywhere. I can feel my feet, breathe into my heart. If my mind gets squirrely, I take a moment and say, I am breathing into my heart. It brings my awareness back to reality and truth. The more I practice, the easier it gets to access peacefulness, the more it becomes a default response to stress of any kind. Spiritual maturity involves not blaming anything or anyone, not projecting our stuff onto others. Our forgiveness helps us take responsibility for our own well-being. There's a great sense of freedom that comes with forgiveness. If I am responsible for my emotional and mental response, and if I am in charge of taking care of my feelings, then nobody and nothing can truly affect me. Being free like that may seem like an impossible dream, but untainted freedom is a state worth working toward. Every moment of letting go of the bonds of hurt and resentment is another moment that leads to enlightenment. Letting go of hurts and grievances and fear is so much easier when I am relaxed, have an open heart, and feel connected with a higher power. I can become peace. I can become heart energy. I become forgiveness. I become kindness. Another passage from A Course in Miracles. And by the way, I've changed some of the pronouns. There's a lot of he's and hims in A Course in Miracles, which I don't mind he or him, but I find it a little limiting on the concept of God. Pronouns. The grace of God rests gently on forgiving eyes, and everything they look on speaks of God to the beholder. They can see no evil, nothing in the world to fear, and no one who is different from them. And as the beholder loves them, so the beholder looks upon their own self with love and gentleness. They would no more condemn themselves for their mistakes than damn another. They are not an arbiter of vengeance, nor a punisher of sin. The kindness of their sight rests on themselves with all the tenderness it offers. For they would only heal and only bless. And being in accord with what God wills, they have the power to heal and bless all those they look on with the grace of God upon their sight. I wish you well as you go forth this day. May we live in compassion, compassion for others, not knowing what pain or pains may influence their behavior, seeing them as beings of light and love. And compassion for ourselves when we err, judging ourselves or others, knowing ourselves as beings of light and love. Together, divine love, in me, around me, through me, as me. Together, divine love, in us, through us, around us, as us.